Welcome to The Crows Show, brought to you by Hungry Jacks. Coming up, Nixie has his say on last night's Showdown 58. And we get a special look at an amazing collection of Crows memorabilia. But first, the AFL's a highly competitive professional competition. Everyone is searching for an edge, and the Crows are boosted by an elite high-performance program.
We have a weekly, monthly and a quarterly profiling battery, and basically all of that stuff gives us really informed, in-depth data objectively on where our players sit from a physical performance standpoint and also a fatigue and readiness standpoint. The jumping metrics and certain ways that you analyse that give us a really good insight to whether a player is still underperforming, whether they're back at their baseline post-game or whether they've overachieved and they're feeling good and ready to go. And if we go too hard from a physical performance standpoint early in the week where they still have lingering fatigue from the game that's just followed, then all we're doing is we're not making them better, we're just compiling on top of that fatigue profile. So it's about being really prescriptive and really detailed and knowing where all of our players are at individually and then individually tailoring their program off the back of that. So that's our big thing, is we're really lucky that we're really well resourced as an athletic performance team. We have 4 full-time S&C coaches who are able to provide this really in-depth level of prescription and individualisation for all of our players. We have force decks, which are the plates that you'll see. The force decks we use for multiple different pieces. So one is the jump monitoring, which gives us an indication of a player's power output and reactive strength. They correlate really well to speed, change of direction, sprinting ability, acceleration and deceleration on game. The other one that they do, which is similar, which is the single leg one, is a calf strength test. So similarly as well, it's very much down that injury prevention line and making sure that our players are in a really good space from their calves and that they're continually getting stronger through that period, because obviously calf and hamstring are the 2 big sort of risk factors and the 2, the most prevalent in the AFL. I think there's this mentality that people assume that all we try to do is maintain during the season, but it's actually the complete opposite. It's all well and good if you're performing really well for the first 8 weeks, but we want our guys peaking as they come into finals. So it's about then knowing and keeping accurate tracks on where our players are throughout the season and making sure that we're finding periods that we can get good solid work into them so that when we come into September, our guys are still really fit, they're strong, they're hopefully injury and niggle free, and we can put our best foot forward rolling into that important period. Gallagher.
Keezy.
Welcome to the Toyota BZ, mate.
Thanks for having me.
I reckon we can get under the hood today.
Yeah, spill a few beans.
About the gags. Mate, firstly, what do you reckon of the Toyota BZ?
Beautiful, I have to say. A lot of room in the front too.
It's good.
Oh my
really
God.
Good. A lot of room in the back as well, and super quiet.
Yeah.
Don't even know it's on half the time.
Is it fully electric?
Fully electric, yep. So no petrol stations. Easy to charge. You can get it done at your house. It's pretty cool, mate.
Very nice.
Unique circumstances, mate. You came over from Ireland to play Australian rules football, which is insane to do.
Yeah, so firstly moving countries, that was a big one. Like I probably would have never have planned on moving countries, playing Gaelic football back home. It's very similar to you boys. You play 18 and it's very hard to leave it. And maybe you go travelling for an off season or something like that, but it was a bit random when I told my parents and mum and dad that I have an opportunity coming up in Australia, and they were like, oh my God, what is this?
They're like, where?
Yeah, look, I'm enjoying it. I think it's been brilliant. I love Adelaide, the city itself. I'm actually living down in West Lakes with Keeney, so it's nice. Just heading down to the beach, stuff like that, with my partner Cleena and Mark's girlfriend Quaven now. We've a good wee group of us going on, and the boys of the club is a great young bunch as well.
Definitely.
We're often to do stuff and have a bit of fun.
It's just funny, like boys come from interstate here in Australia, and it's like a big move, and a few of them don't really sort of make it, and it's like, well, Carl's come halfway across the world and he's playing a new sport.
Yeah, the new sport one's funny. It is similar. I'd say the biggest thing is just the ball skills. We've similar stuff, strategy and stuff like that, but the ball, I remember my first time, even tackling, I remember being out here. There's a contact in Gaelic, but it has to be almost like shoulder to shoulder and stuff like that. You can't get away with some of the stuff you do over here. I remember my first time getting tackled and nearly losing my head, thinking, what do you have to do to me? What's your problem? But,
what? Get off me!
Nah, it was good. I'm enjoying it. Definitely my skills this year. I've thought they've picked up a bit, which is good. But yeah, loving it. It's a great sport. Like, I even love like watching all the other teams play and stuff. I think the competition's great, and even at sample level, like it's a very high standard. You're playing against boys who have AFL experience every week, and as well as that, like I'm getting to play with boys who have 200 games of AFL played. Like some of the boys have 250 games.
It's crazy. That is awesome, mate. You've absolutely hit the ground running for a guy that didn't know what the sport was or hadn't played the sport. To come in at your age and then play straight in the sample straight away, which is arguably the second best comp in Australia, mate, you've been exceptional. So keep it up, and the improvement's been awesome to watch.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Carl Gallagher, ladies and gentlemen,
Thank you.
in the Toyota BZ.
Can't wait for your pre-game speech.
And thanks to Toyota, if you take a photo of yourself or a friend at one of our games and post it to social media, make sure you use the hashtag WeFlyAsOne. This week's lucky fan is you. Please email faceinthecrowd@afc.com.au with photo ID to claim your prize of 2 tickets to Toyota's exclusive Hilux Hill at Adelaide Oval.
First started at Plimpton Bulldogs, was my junior footy club. Did Auskick there with the boys. I did Auskick and then had a few years off in between, and then didn't go back till like under 14s with the girls when the girls finally came in. So did some juniors at Glenelg through the Sample. So yeah, got picked up through like the women's program there. I think just playing with all my friends from school, like it was a bit of a community. At Plimpton, I remember Auskick was the guys that I was at school with, and it was just so much fun. Like on the Friday night, you just look forward to that, and then like having the hot chips and Coke after. Yeah, it's good fun.
And AFLW is back. Season 10 is just around the corner. Don't miss the Crows' first home game on Sunday, August 24 at Unley Oval. Grab a 3-game AFLW pass. Head to crowsmembership.com.au to get yours now. See you at the W.
Righto, so we're going to ask some questions. Who's your favourite Adelaide player?
Darcy Fogarty.
Hey, there's one.
Darcy.
Darcy, me? Me? Bang, there we go. Sausage in bread, are you a tomato sauce or a barbecue sauce man?
Tomato. Barbecue. Barbecue.
Tomato, so do I. Do we keep our sauce in the pantry or the fridge?
Homemade sauce, fridge. Pantry for normal sauce.
Okay.
Fridge. Pantry. 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 Pantry.
Oh no, you're outnumbered. Well, tomato sauce or barbecue sauce? Both. You don't mix it there? No. One at a time? And when they're on the barbie, what's their speciality? Speciality, is that a word? Yep.
Normally a porterhouse steak.
Tomahawk.
Tomahawk.
Steak and some veggies.
Yep.
Chops, salad, mac and cheese.
Sausages and patties.
Do you get any backlash on your cooking?
Nah, the Iris doesn't have high standards with much, so he tends to just eat whatever I cook.
Or do you rip him when he burns it?
Tastes yummy when it burns.
It tastes yummy when it burns. Do you like it well done? I love my steak well done as well. Speed round. Sausages in bread. Barbecue or tomato?
Tomato.
Tomahawk or a lamb roast?
Tomahawk.
Who does the cooking at home, you or Ava?
Amy, she's a beautiful cook. I don't do too much. She's great.
Who does the dishes if she does the cooking?
No, it's a strict person who doesn't cook does the dishes in our household. So generally, it's me doing the dishes, unfortunately.
Just about every Crows fan owns a little piece of this club's history. However, some go way beyond the odd badge, jumper or autograph.
Historical Crows collectibles can be anything like your season ticket, which comes every year, membership badges, player autographs, player face badges are incredibly popular, so it's just a wide range of things that people try to collect each season. The thing that appeals to me most about a lot of the memorabilia is it's a continuity. Every season there's a new season ticket, new season membership badge, which is always terrific, exciting when that comes in the post. And obviously every season you've got the new edition of the player face badges. Three of the weirdest pieces of memorabilia that I've ever come across is a scratch ticket from back when they did a Crows Lottery scratchy ticket. Also a carton of the Crows milk, when Crows milk, some people remember the caramel chocolate milk. And they also did a series of 2 watches. One was Tony Modra and one was Wayne Wiedemann. For me, one of the most exciting times of the year is when your membership season ticket and your membership badge turns up. And so every year they produce an individual badge for that season. I think my membership badge collection would be probably a good couple of hundred, because there's obviously quite a few different categories of membership, silver, gold. There's actually quite a variety of different memberships. It's certainly very exciting when you own something that's got great historical significance and you realise that it's an item that's pretty much just from that day and that particular game. Some of the things that I really love is the first footy record. My personal ticket from the very first game is right up there with favourite bits of memorabilia, just to have kept it for that long and remembering what an incredible night that was. The interesting thing about the season tickets is the very first season ticket, because the club was set up so quickly, the first season ticket just says Adelaide Football Club Pty Ltd. It actually doesn't have the club colours or any club logos, so sort of gives you an idea of how quickly they had to get things moving. Of all my memorabilia, owning a ball from the very first game is the pinnacle of what I've managed to find in my collecting days. A few years ago there was quite a few sporting items being sold at a local auction house, and luckily I noticed there was quite a few items from 1991. The autographs on this ball, one was Chris McDermott obviously as the captain, but the other 3 or 4 are actually umpires, and I thought it was very unusual for umpires to have signed a football until I realised that that group of umpires only umpired once together, and that was the very first game in 1991. And the ball was actually from the second quarter of the very first game ever, so to actually hold that piece of history is quite incredible. It is an amazing piece of the club's history, so it's certainly something I, down the track, would give very great thought to possibly donating that to the club to have on display so other people could appreciate it.
Thanks for joining me, Phil.
Thank you for having me.
A life member of the Adelaide Footy Club.
Yeah, no, that happened about a year ago, which was pretty special to me. I mean, when it's your club and you put a lot of time and effort into it, to be recognised that as a life member means maybe you've done a pretty good job, so I was pretty happy with that. Well, I started in football department in January '98, so that's a long time ago. Were you born then?
Yep, I was 2 months old. And
2 months
old.
old.
So the premiership year.
So I thought, oh, this is pretty good. This must happen every year, and went to a celebration in the middle of the city with 100,000 odd people. And one of my roles then, Bill Sanders said, mate, what we did last year was we took the cup out to all the country regions, so can you coordinate that for us? So then I went on this little tour of South Australia, taking the cup around with 4 or 5 players, so it was a pretty good start.
And who were some of the players you took the cup with?
Darren Jarman came with us, Matthew Robram, Brett James. It was pretty full on those. Sean Wren was one of them. I remember he was just trying to eat in a pub in Sojourner and he had to tell everyone, can you just leave me alone for 1 minute while I eat this schnitzel? So, no, it was good times.
What, they were eating schnitzels back then?
Yeah, eating schnitzels. I don't think the dietitians were as heavily involved back then.
What other roles did you do throughout your time?
Those first 4 years I was involved in the recruiting, and I suppose you don't really get to see if you've had an impact for 4 or 5 years when those young guys came through. Some of the ones, I remember Brett Burton was one of the ones that came through. We used a first-round draft pick on him, and he was a mature age. He hadn't come straight out of the under-18s. Rhett Biglands was another one who came through around that time. But there was a whole host of players. We traded some players back in. Scott Thompson went away to Melbourne, but we traded him back in to come and play for us. So, you know, there's just 3 who sort of form the backbone of a pretty strong squad. Even my role at the moment, whilst I head up the women's program, the last 4 years I've been back involved in the recruiting in the men's program again, which I love. Some people don't love going out, and I think last weekend I was at I started at Norwood Oval at 10, I went to Prospect Oval at 12, and I went to Unley Oval at 2 o'clock to watch young under 18 kids. And some people go, how do you get off on doing that? But I don't know, it's just, I suppose it's in my blood that I love watching young guys coming through and trying to predict where they might be able to get to. Now, I must have watched Max Michaeloni play 15 times, and I just fell in love with Max as a player, and I didn't think he'd be as good as he has been straight away, but wow, what a great player he's going to be. And he reminds me so much of Benny Hart, and he's probably going to play, if he keeps going the rate he's going to play 300 games, which is amazing. Even there was one game where I really fell in love with him. He was playing reserves for Norwood against West Adelaide at Richmond Oval, and he only had 12 possessions, but everything he did had AFL quality written all over it. And he's certainly, I haven't seen him play a bad game yet, so credit to him.
Awesome. Thanks for joining me, Phil.
Thanks for having me, Ebony.
Next week, Ebony and Phil talk about his 10 years overseeing the club's highly successful women's program. Now, let's look forward to next Friday night when the Hawks come to town. These teams played each other not that long ago, round 14, in a game in Tassie which Adelaide arguably should have won. That night, Adelaide dominated the pressure game. They ran them down from behind, chased them really hard, and it really did stifle Hawthorn's free-flowing style. In the second half of that game, Adelaide just got bogged down. It looked like they lost a little bit of belief. It's a good opportunity to look 6 weeks down the track. How much have Adelaide developed? I think the Crows have improved enormously since they last played Hawthorn 6 weeks ago. And this game on Friday night gives them a chance to show how far they've come. And that's it for today's show. We'll see you next Sunday morning at 11. Bye for now. Today's show was brought to you by Hungry Jacks.